Hello, good morning. Welcome. In this video, we are learning unit number 5, magnetic properties of the material, contents of the topic. The contents are introduction, atomic magnetic moment, magnetization vector, magnetic susceptibility, types of magnetic material, dia, para, and ferromagnetic material, classical Langevin theory of diamagnetic material, classical Langevin theory of paramagnetic domain, quantum mechanical treatment of paramagnetism, energy loss, introduction, atomic moment. Here, in magnetic properties of the solid, we will discuss the magnetism. And in magnetism, firstly, we will see what is magnetism. Magnetism is an inherent property of the material, or sometimes you can say every material should be, or every material is a magnet. But due to their internal structure and internal arrangement of the atom, this material sometimes show magnetism or not. Some material becomes diamagnetic material, some ferromagnetic material, and some paramagnetic material. And this is due to the internal atomic arrangement of the magnet. The magnetic properties in which we are interested are due to entirely the electrons of the atom, which have a magnetic moment by virtue of their motion. The nucleus also has small magnetic moment, but it is insignificant compared to that of electron, and it does not affect the gross magnetic property. As electron moves around the nucleus, its circulating electron produces current. Here, this circulating electron produces current, and according to the Biot-Savart law, circulating electron produces magnetic field, or circulating current produces a magnetic field. Here, the magnetic moment of electron due to its motion may be calculated by equation mu equals to A into I, where A is the area of the loop and I is the circulating current. Here, we will derive the equation of the angular momentum of the electron. You know, the angular momentum of electron is given by mu equals to current into area, where area is the loop, area of loop, and I is the current. And you know, the current I equals to Q by P, where Q is the charge on the electron and P is the time period of the oscillation. Here, this is the time period of the oscillation. It is given by 2 pi r upon velocity of the electron, and area of the loop is equals to pi r square. Therefore, the magnetic moment is given by mu equals to current into ampere. Area, current into area. Therefore, magnetic moment is given by pi r square into E by T. Therefore, by solving this, we get this equation mu equals to E V r by 2. But angular momentum of the electron is again given by n is the number of electrons. You know, then there are more numbers of electrons present inside the atom. Therefore, here we need to consider the numbers of electrons. Therefore, this mvr, nothing but the angular momentum, equals to n equals to h by 2 pi. This is given by the Bohr's law. Therefore, Vr equals to n h upon 2m into pi. Therefore, by calculating this one, we get a new orbit equals to EVR by 2, and n equals to EH upon 4 pi m. The electron behaves as it was in some sense of spinning about its own axis. That is, the spin angular momentum is also has to the electron. Therefore, the spin are defined by amount of the magnetic moment and angular moment. It is found experimentally and theoretically that magnetic moment due to electron spin equals to mu spin equals to EVR by 2, nothing but this m equals to 1 into EH upon 4 pi r. Thus, the magnetic moment due to spin and due to motion around the orbit for a first Bohr orbit n equals to 1 are exactly equal. Because it is such a fundamental quantity, this amount of the magnetic moment is given a special symbol mu L by mu V, and it is given in the Bohr magneton. Thus, mu V equals to EH upon 4 pi f. This is the Bohr magneton, or this is the Bohr magnetic moment. Next point is the magnetization vector. As we know that every atom consists of the magnetic moment. This magnetic moment is a vector quantity. Therefore, this the this has a particular direction. So, as vector has a particular direction, this value is said to be the magnetization vector. Here we will see here in atoms contain many electrons. Each spinning about its own axis and moving in its own orbit. The magnetic moment associated with each kind of motion is a vector quantity, parallel to the axis of spin and normal to the plane of the orbit, respectively. The magnetic moment of an atom is a vector sum of all its electronic moments. If the magnetic moments of all electrons are so oriented that they can cancel to one another. Here, up to that point, you may understand that. Suppose let us assume an atom consists of 10 electrons, and each due to each electron, each electron possesses its own magnetic moment. And as the magnetic moment is a vector quantity, every electron possesses the magnetic moment and it's having a particular direction. If all atoms has a magnetic moment and having the same direction, then this all magnetic moment may combine with each other and get a resultant magnetization vector. Suppose all the magnetic moments are oriented in a random direction, therefore they may cancel to each other. Once they may cancel to each other, this means that the resultant magnetic moment of a complete atom or whole atom equals to 0. This means this material or this atom does not show the magnetization. And the material which consists this atom, it shows the zero magnetization, or this material belongs to the category of diamagnetism. Therefore, if the whole atom has a particular direction, whole atoms having the electrons having a particular magnetic moment in one direction, this atom complete use is a vector. This vector is called as a magnetization vector. This condition leads to the diamagnetism. On the other hand, if the cancellation of electronic moment is only partial and the atom is left with its net magnetic moment, such atom is often referred as a magnetic atom. Substance composed of magnetic atoms of this kind are para, ferro, antiferro, and paramagnetism. This means if the atom has a certain amount of magnetism or very little amount of magnetism, this means this belongs to the 3 categories or 4 categories, that is para, ferro, antiferro, and very magnetic moments. Therefore, for resultant magnetization in an atom, we need all the atomic magnetic moments aligned in a particular direction, in a particular one direction. For the random direction be atom, then inside the atom, net magnetic moment of the material or atom is 0. Here you must remember one point, that every atom possesses a magnetic moment. But due to the internal structure or internal arrangement of the electrons, this resultant magnetization around in the atom equals to 0 or sometimes having a magnetic. Next point is the magnetic susceptibility. Magnetic susceptibility is nothing but the ratio of the magnetization to the magnetic field strength. Here, This is the magnetic moment per unit value. This is m, and this is the field strength. Therefore, susceptibility psi equals to m by h. The ratio of magnetic moment per unit volume m to the magnetic field intensity is called as the magnetic susceptibility. Magnetic susceptibility is a very important quantity. This gives us the value whether the material is magnetic or not. If magnetic susceptibility equals to 0, then we can say the magnetization may or may not be present. If the magnetic susceptibility is negative, this means that this material is a diamagnetic material, and when psi equals to positive or higher than 1, then the material, we can say the material will be the positive magnetic susceptibility, and material has a particular value of the magnet, and magnetic material belongs to the ferromagnetic material. Here, there are three values of the magnetic susceptibility: the mass susceptibility, atomic susceptibility, molar susceptibility. The value of susceptibility for various kind of substances found in the range of -20 into 10 to the power -6 to plus 20 into the power -6. Okay. Next, the types of magnetic materials: dia, para, and ferromagnetic materials. In your class 12, you have already learned that what are the types of magnetic materials and what are their properties. Here we will not go in details the all types of magnetic materials, because you all are already known that what types of magnetic materials and what type of their property. But here I would like to take a overview of the dia, para, and ferromagnetic materials. Here, diamagnetic materials are those materials which repel the magnetic lines of induction or magnetic lines of forces. Suppose let us consider any material which having a diamagnetic material, and we are keeping this material in a magnetic field. This diamagnetic material repels the magnetic lines of forces. Paramagnetic materials are those materials which does not repel the magnetic lines of forces, but they allow to passing the magnetic lines of forces, but which are having the magnetic susceptibility equals to 0. And here, in case of a diamagnetic material, the magnetic susceptibility value is in a negative. Next one is the ferromagnetic materials. Ferromagnetic materials are the examples of the ferromagnetic iron. This ferromagnetic materials has a particular special value of the magnetic moment, and in case of a ferromagnetic material, there existed domains. These domains are the major source of the ferromagnetic material. And if you put an ferromagnetic material in a magnetic field, that time this ferromagnetic material allows the magnetic lines of forces passing through it, and due to allowing the magnetic lines of forces passing through it, there is the magnetization inside the ferromagnetic materials increases, because you know that there exists a domain, and inside the domain all the atomic magnetic moment or magnetic fields are aligned in a particular direction, and due to the external magnetic fields or domains align in the same particular direction, therefore there exists a very high magnetization inside the ferromagnetic materials. And once you remove an external magnetic field, that time the net magnetization inside the ferromagnetic material will not be equal to 0. There could be remain certain magnetization up to the certain time. This means if we apply an external magnetic field and remove the external magnetic field to the ferromagnetic material, a certain magnetization always remains in the ferromagnetic material. This is a special property of the ferromagnetic material. But in case of a paramagnetic material, so once we remove an external magnetic field, the net magnetization in the paramagnetic material is 0. These are some properties of the paramagnetic material. Sometimes there may ask differentiate between dia, para, and ferromagnetic material in your universities. Thank you.